So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be removing this fan that you see up here and installing this new one that we got here from Ropelux. As you can see in the box, kind of super excited about installing this. We've had this fan up here for probably since before we bought the home. So I'm going to walk you through the install, takedown process. One of my favorite features that I like about it is now they're making ceiling fans with clip-in blades as opposed to having to screw in 5 screws on each and every individual blade. And then you get more of your coverage, your accessories, your clamp here to hang the fan as well, your hardware, control box. This fan actually has a remote control, and it also has an app that you can put on your phone where you can also operate the fan as well. So that's also another feature that I'm super excited about. So need a longer one. And then more accessories here. So some people will use this one to drop the length of their fan, and some will use this one. So more than likely, looking at our ceiling, we're probably going to use this one here. Another thing too, if you're not comfortable working with electrical, make sure that you shut the power off for this breaker that operates a fan before even getting started. So as you can see, we just shut the power off for this particular breaker that operates the ceiling light, so we can actually get started working on it. To be honest with you, I'm actually kind of excited to be taking this thing down. This thing is ugly, but there was nothing wrong with it when we bought the house, so we just kept it going. You're probably just going to need a flathead screwdriver, possibly, and a Phillips screwdriver to get the thing disconnected. up here you have a couple of nuts that actually hold this thing on. Loosen them. So this fan kit actually comes with two different poles here. So because of the height of our ceiling, I'm going to use this one. So the way it comes shipped with this one actually attached. It has two screw holes in it. You'll have to just remove the little set screw, take it off of this one, and then put it on the shorter one. We can't use the long one because the fan will be chopping our heads off. So as you can see here, what you need to do is you need to take, so if you look at this device right here, you see that little hole there? That's going to be for your little set screw. So what you want to do is you want to line this up with that little hole. And then all you do, you screw your little set screw in. Screw this one in. To kind of hold it in place. And then you're good to go. So I've basically taken this now from this long extension one that we don't need to this one. So the next step is you want to grab your little bag of hardware, and then you're going to want to mount this to your ceiling box in the ceiling, because this is what's going to hold the weight of your fan. So you want to take all your wires, again, making sure that the breaker is turned off. So what you should have is you should have your white wire, which is your neutral, and you should have your black wire, which is your hot, and then you have your ground wire, which is the solid copper wire. And then you want to feed those wires behind here and then through. And then you want to mount your box to the ceiling. I'm going to use that wire to kind of hold it in place, as you can see there. I'm going to go on my little kit here. I'm going to find the two screws that they use to hold this thing in place. Now if your setup is like mine, your setup may be a little different than mine. It's kind of hard to say because every house is different. But the two screws that you're going to use, that you're going to mount this box to your box in the ceiling, should look like these. And these are pretty standard It should come with a couple of washers as well. So what you want to do is you want to take your washers, put your washer over your screw. And the washer is to hold this plate in place, as you will see here in a moment. You take your washer and your other screw and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we've got our box mounted securely to the ceiling. We're going to start wiring up our fan. So this is your controller box. You're going to be sliding this in place, and then we're going to build it up from there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire nuts, as you can see here, and we're going to start wiring white to white, black to black, and green to copper. You can see we got our white connected. What I want to try to do is push these back up into the ceiling as best I can. And then you want to attach your ground to your green. And then one thing you want to do, this is just a little extra note, once you twist these caps on, give a little tug on the wire for the device. In this case, the house wires are not stranded cable, meaning it's a solid wire. The wires for the fan are actually stranded, meaning there's many strands of wire. That's the one you want to pull on just to make sure that it's good and tight in there, because what you don't want to do is have a loose wire and end up popping a fuse or something crazy down the road, because it can happen. All right, so we have our stuff wired. Trying to push these back up into the box. Okay, all our wires are up in the box. Now it's time to hook up the extension portion. So this is where you're going to install these pieces here, and then connect your light. Okay. Okay, so once you get the wires through, you want to connect these wires that were attached to this to these wires here, as you can see. So make sure you slip them in gently, because you can damage the wires. Should slide right in easily. And if you look, there's a little square cut out at the top, which kind of lets you know which way to slide them in so you don't bend or damage those pins. All right, now all you gotta do is tuck these wires into here. As you can see, bring this up to the ceiling. Lower your little set screws. So to release the blades, you push that. To get them inside, all you do is just push them in and they slide right in. This is a great invention right here. I love this. Make sure you push them in tight. The last thing you want is for your wife or your husband to be walking across the room and get hit in the back of the head with a fan blade. So make sure you put it in good and tight. Even pull on it to make sure that it's in there. Man, where was this 20 years ago? All right, that one has to go in. Okay. Now the last step for us is going to be to try to touch up the paint where the old one used to sit, because this new one is a smaller profile. So as you can see, this is the remote that it comes with. It has fan on and off, lights on and off. So let's test it out here. Turns your lamp on, turns your lamp off. Fan on and off. Hey, it's got 5 different speeds. Oh, this feels amazing. 2, 3, 4, and 5.
5 is hurricane.
5 is hurricane, my wife said, but this is pretty awesome. I love the size of it. Now the last step for us is going to be to try to touch up the paint where the old one used to sit, because this new one is a smaller profile. But I tell you, it's not very difficult. You will need a little bit of electrical know-how. If you're not very comfortable dealing with electrical, like I've said in many other videos, hire a professional or somebody that you know understands electrical, is not scared to deal with it. But push the buttons here. As you can see, you can reverse it from the app. There's a button on the app here. Which button is it? That button there that allows you to reverse it. Push the other button. You can actually dim the light. So she'll push it. And as you can see, the light is dim. Go back into that position and go redo it again. So she's going to brighten it, and then she's going to hit the button on her phone app to dim the light. So if you come in your room at night and you're looking for, just want a nice soft ambiance setting, you can actually dim it with the touch of a button from your cell phone, which is pretty cool. I tell you, the more I'm seeing this fan, I'm really, really liking it. Are there any additional functions that I may have missed?
No, this just changes how fast the fan goes. This here, you can adjust your fan. You can adjust your fan from really fast, and you can just hit it in whatever area you want. If you don't want it to go very fast, you just...
So as you can see here in the app is kind of showing you about the speed of the fan, how it's turning, and you can increase the speed of the fan just through the app. So, which is pretty cool. You can adjust the lighting with this portion of it. Like I said, click that link, get you one if you don't have one. I'm telling you, the way technology is now, it's getting better and better. I think you'll enjoy this fan light.
And then this, all you have to do is click and it'll give you the different things on the light and how strong you want it to be.
There you go.
And with one little button, boom, off, everything.
However, the light switch is still in the on position, but it allows you to operate it from the app when you enter the room, so, or the remote control. So, pretty cool. So one other feature of this light is, I want you to watch closely. So right now we have it set at the cool setting, which is that bright white. This light, you can actually turn it to a more of a yellow or a warm light, and you can also dim it, as I'm going to show you here in the video, which is actually pretty nice.